Australia is a giving country with more than 55,000 registered charities and 10 more signing up every day. The downside is they're competing for a limited pool of funds as a small number of mainstream charities reap the majority share of donations. Children's charities are one of those falling through the cracks. The Funding Network is trying to redress that by launching a crowdfunding campaign aimed specifically at social enterprises supporting young kids. Joining us now to talk more about that is CEO of the Funding Network, Julie McDonald, and young philanthropist Lily Parsons. Thank you both for coming in tonight. Julie, I'm going to start with you. This crowdfunding model that the Funding Network does so well, you've had huge success with that, $11 million in just 6 years. Why do you think crowdfunding cuts through?
Well, in our case, it's live crowdfunding. It's face-to-face, so it really is about human connection. In a digital world, we've gone back to basics, and we give people causes who need help the opportunity to meet people who want to help and have the capacity to help. And it's a good way for people to come together, to pool their funds and resources and have a much deeper impact doing so.
For the first time now, you're turning your attention to children's charities, and you've got a specialist panel of kids, including Lily, who we're going to hear from in just a moment. And those children are helping you choose which charities that go forward for pitching for funding. Why do you think it's important to give kids a say?
Well, this event is called TFN Early Years, and it will be helping kids' charities in that 0 to 5 age bracket. And we thought, what better way to select the charities than get young people involved in the selection? And I have to say, it was mind-blowing. They asked questions that adults just don't ask. They had a real thoughtful approach to the selection, and it was probably one of the best panels we have done. So it's going to be a great selection on the night, thanks to Lily and some of her friends, and yeah, we're super excited.
Lily, that's a great way to segue to talk to you. You were on that panel. You had to select 3 charities from about 60. I don't know how you did that. How did you make that choice?
Well, first we learnt about the social problems that the charities were addressing, and then we learnt about their solutions. Another part I really enjoyed is when we got to know just about that charity, so how many people work there, like what kind of work they're doing. Then we graded them based on 4 criteria, and we chose the top 3 from there.
What do you think is important in a kids' charity?
Well, on the day we made a criteria, and it included some of our views of what we think is important in a kids' charity. So the first one included shelter, food and safety, something that most of us take for granted. The second one included a sense of belonging, which no matter how old you are, I think we should all know that we should belong. The third one included opportunities for preschool education, which we can all agree is pretty important. And the fourth one, my favourite one, was opportunities for play. And childhood is when your imagination can run free, so I thought that was very important.
And are you pretty aware that there's many kids who aren't as lucky as you and the other kids on the panel?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's important that kids like you give back to those less fortunate?
Well, I think it's important that kids get into giving because it can teach us great values such as generosity, kindness and respect, and it also allows us to be part of the solution too.
Well, it sounds like you're all over that. Julie, what are some of the areas of greatest need for, you said it's 0 to 5 you're focusing on?
Well, in this particular event, what's been really incredible is some of the innovative solutions that we've seen come through, and I guess they indicate a need. For example, one of the pitching charities is developing a programme for kids' mental health for 0 to 5-year-olds. Now, that's pretty horrifying to think that a programme like that is needed, but it is. And I guess what we really saw through this round was the programmes are being designed to cut it off at this side. Let's not wait 30 years to help somebody. And I guess kids' charities are great with that area of focus. They understand their space, they understand the issues, and they can tailor their responses.
We heard Lily say then why it's important for young kids to get involved in giving back. What have you noticed about that? What impact does it have on kids when they're the ones that are doing that hands-on work?
It's very empowering, and the 6 kids that were involved with the panel that day left bouncing out of the place. It develops empathy, you know, it really does. We've had kids come to our events for many years. The difference with this event is it's very tailored towards kids and young people, but it gives them an opportunity to really see the issues that are impacting their world, whether that's social issues, environmental, and as Lily said, to be part of the solution. Not just through money, but through volunteering, through advocacy, advocacy, by actually understanding the issues and being able to speak as fluidly as Lily has tonight about them.
And I imagine it has a huge impact on them as they grow older if you start that now, that idea of empathy and giving back.
Definitely. I mean, these are our future. We will be relying on Lily and her friends to be looking after us as we grow older and into the future. No pressure, Lily. But absolutely, you know, the earlier we can educate, there's more issues than there has ever been. There's more charities than there has ever been. So it's important that kids are across the issues that impact them and their friends and their loved ones.
Lily, without giving anything away, there were, as we mentioned, you had to choose 3 charities. They're going to go forward now and pitch for funding, and there's thousands of dollars at stake. Can you tell us about just one of those that stood out for you?
My favourite one was probably a charity called Deadly Connections, because they work with Indigenous parents and give them parenting skills and support they need to keep their families together. In fact, just the other day, an Indigenous woman came into our school and she told us about her family's story and culture, and it just goes to show that the work Deadly Connections does, it's really important, because it's very important for Aboriginal culture to stay alive and Indigenous stories.
Well, you're very proud of you for doing your bit, and we thank you both for coming in tonight.
Thank you so much, Lucinda.